Hit me on that. Welcome y'all to another episode of the ThePrezEx TV. This your boy JB. This my homie brother over there, El Presidente Rag. What's going on, brother?
Man, what's going on?
I don't know, man.
I got my good Dragon Ball Z shirt on today in reference.
I heard about that.
Akira Toriyama, the creator.
Yeah,
it was a lot of our childhood.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know about that until I saw Stephen A. say something about it, about who he would pick or something about.
Right.
Yeah.
So man, shout out to Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball Z, and all those shows. That's why I got my good Dragon Ball Z shirt on.
No doubt. Y'all, right now, if you're watching live, if you're replaying or whatever, go ahead and like this video right now. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe. Wherever that you stream podcasts, we're on everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And we have, if you've seen the thumbnail, I said, we had a guest. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I didn't say who. I said we had a woman guest. Now, we had a guest on here before. I said female, and she just kind of went off. So, so I was gonna say female, but I'm not sure how you feel about that word. But we can get into that later. So that's neither here nor there right now. But we got a few things we want to rap about. Want to chop it up on. Rag, tell us about it, man. Before we introduce our guest right here.
Okay, so on what we about to do in this good live, we're definitely about to address why is it? Because I think it's in our generation more so. Mm-hmm. And maybe the generation right after us, like, traditionally when people got married, the wife took the husband's last name, the two became one. Y'all consolidated y'all's business. Mm-hmm. But now it's a lot of, I'm keeping my last name, or I'm hyphenating my last name.
Yeah.
Or
hyphy. Yeah.
So that's a big debate, especially amongst our folks, because we good with that.
Oh man, talk about it.
Yeah, no, we are really good with that. Yeah. Like our folks, other people, man, they be happy to take that last name. Like our folks, like I got to keep mine. I don't know.
I got a hyphy.
But yeah, so we're definitely going to talk about that, and then also the second topic is as.
I don't know the name of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't. But basically, the discussion is like, is it okay for your man to have, women friends?
Well, they were actually endorse it.
They wanted,
yeah. It was Taylor Rooks, y'all. Taylor Rooks. This will be the second time we talk about it, or however we do it. Taylor Rooks and Joy Taylor have a podcast out now. I'm not sure the name, but they were talking about, I guess, dating or their potential mates or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Joy Taylor was like, one red flag is if her potential man or husband or whatever does not have female friends. She would not trust him if he didn't have female friends. So it's like she's encouraging or endorsing, to have female friends, women friends. So mm-hmm. that's interesting because my antennas went up, because I think as soon as I saw it, I think I sent it straight to you.
Yeah, you immediately, I'm like, dang, you
right. You know what I mean?
I just left from over there. That man, instantly, my phone going off. I'm like,
so I was like, am I the only one that kind of like, oh, okay, like interesting, So, we have a guest here. I wanted Rag to go ahead and pull out. This is actually a return guest, and if you don't see it, she has something on that table there. We can talk about that later. But go ahead, Rag. Go ahead.
Yep. So y'all are gonna definitely have to catch. Because this is our good live episode, but y'all are going to definitely have to tune in to our posted episode, because we will have another one where we talk about this good book. We get into that. But she was on, I believe it was last season, season 3. Mm-hmm. And we just delved into just what she does as a content creator, as a YouTube platformer, semi-podcaster. Influencer, yeah. Right. And now she's an author, going to school and also working on some things. And she's positioning herself for some other areas in her life. But she was on season 3, returning again. The one and only Misty Quinn, aka Writeous Rhema. Welcome back.
Hey guys, glad to be back here.
What it do? Tell us what's been going on a little bit. Tell us How you been? What's going on? I see you got a new hairdo. Dig that.
Just did my hair, yes, a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So as you can see, I'm a published author. Gaslit, Escaping the Narcissist Pit. My writing name is Writeous Rhema. Made Amazon bestseller in 10 categories and some top seller categories. So I'm excited about that. So definitely check out the book.
Okay.
Cut up. So you didn't even say that earlier.
I ain't know nothing about that bestseller.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what
That's
we're
the
doing
gold
now.
seal on there. It's a gold seal on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
okay.
okay. Dig that.
Yeah.
Just holding stuff out. Okay. That's what we doing.
Now, because this first topic probably be real quick part with Taylor Rooks and them, I think, because we probably gonna spend too much time on that. Well, I don't know. Maybe
No,
so. I don't know.
Like I said, we had to change the subject. I was like, no, because we ain't started recording yet. We don't want to leave all of the good content.
Yeah. So, we'll see, because both of them probably be like that. So, now, Misty, man, if I can call you Misty, right?
Misty's fine.
Okay, Misty's fine. Okay. So, you heard about what's going on, as far as what we said about the Taylor Rooks and Joy Taylor, what they were talking about as far as men, and they encourage women friends.
Endorsing it.
Pretty much. So, as a woman that's dating, you know what I'm saying? I want to say, that'll be kind of hard for me to say in the streets, you know what I'm saying? You ain't in
outside.
You ain't in the streets.
I'm not quite in the streets.
Yeah, you're not in the streets.
She just said she's outside.
I'm definitely outside.
But she's just not in the streets,
Not in
but
the
she's
streets.
outside. She's on the porch.
You on the corner, okay? You on the corner. So, what do you think about the situation, just from your perspective?
I definitely wouldn't say I would encourage it. I would never encourage my men go out there and make some female friends. But if you had some friends since college, high school, from work, I wouldn't say in the friendships. So I would not encourage the friendships, and I would not say in the friendships. But playing devil's advocate, I would say that in a way it does kind of show the girl that this man knows how to navigate in female spaces platonically without being tempted. So if he's never been in female spaces, how would he know how he'll respond if he got a female friend? So I think it kind of, if he never has a female friend, he don't know what he'll do if he's alone with the female. Now,
let me put some context behind it too. Now, to Joy's credit, she was talking about some of her reasoning was because, when they have problems or something, it'll be good for them to get a female perspective on it rather than getting a bunch of dudes, to have a softer side. You know what I mean? So I do want to say that, but that don't mean nothing to me. I just want to see what you.
I definitely wouldn't. Not in that case, it would be very dangerous. If you and your girl are having problems, the easiest thing to do would be to go to a female friend and say, guess what this girl just did, and you don't know what that female friend may have feelings for you, waiting for it to happen. And women are very sneaky. Women are very conniving, manipulative, and they could be waiting on there to be discord in your relationship. And when you come to them, they're like, just like I was telling you, I knew she wasn't no good. And the next thing you know, there's, a situation going on. So I definitely would not encourage female friends to discuss relationship problems with. If you're just like a group trip somewhere, have fun in the cabin, but I would never say, call her when we beef. I would never encourage that.
Yeah, it's so much to say on this a little bit, but I will say this. I can get both sides to a degree because let's just say you're in the dating game, right? You're in the dating game. And you got this potential guy, so you want, just say if he don't have any female friends from the get go when you're dating, maybe that could be like, dang, why ain't you got no female friends? That'll be kind of weird a little bit. Are you, different? You know what I mean? So it may be some questions with that. So as you're starting a relationship or dating, I can see, okay, he need to have some female friend because then that'd be kind of weird. Or be like, why ain't you got any type of female friends? Now once you. In my mind, I'm married, so it's like once you get into a relationship, it's like you ain't gonna want that anymore because just like you said, if I'm having problems in my marriage or even a serious dating relationship, and one of the first people that I go to is 2 or 3 of my woman friends, it's like you said, what we told you, they cool, but on the flip side, we could have did something with them in college, we just didn't tell you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or we had a little moment, you know what I mean? But we didn't mention that to you, but it's always been platonic. To me, when I say platonic, that means I ain't sticking in. It mean it's not, we haven't went there. But that's platonic.
Just the tip.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that we maybe have not kissed or maybe not have thought about going in that direction. So now it's like, so now when I'm thinking about it, it's like you slick kind of throwing me, you know, to my female friend. Like you don't want me to talk to my dudes. You don't want me to, you know what I'm saying, have a dude. Like, of course, I got a sister. We all got moms, aunties, different people that we think are our quote unquote sisters, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, to me, if you push somebody that way, it's like you probably gonna get what you asked for at the end of the day, just because, you know, no matter how anybody presents it, I can present this lady as my friend, and it could be totally platonic. But like you said, how a female looks at it, she can look a woman dead in the eye and be like, you know, no, this is my brother, this is my such and such, such and such. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not knowing on the flip side, like, if there's a little opportunity, I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? Not like she's preying on him, but it's like I wouldn't mind if he there. Like, shoot, you know what I mean?
Beyonce saying that song, I told my girl you can get it. Like this.
Yeah.
You know, and it may not be why y'all still like beefing, but if y'all have a break, you know, people have their own break babies, you know. I feel like it may not be at that moment, but if y'all work up for like 2 weeks and they had enough drinks, and, you know, things can happen.
Friends,
so.
we were on a break.
Yeah. And stuff can happen, man. Like, I just think that's a slippery, so to encourage or endorse it at least. You know what I mean? Like, I think to be like, went to TSU. I remember last time we were here, I went to TSU, so I had a lot of female friends even before my wife. Mm-hmm. And really you got to know yourself too. And so I had some attractive friends, some friends that I never did go there with, you know. However, like, if opportunity was there, you know what I mean, in a crazy situation, or not even a crazy situation, or a vulnerable moment, or like she down, I'm down, is, you know what I'm saying, like, not saying it would happen, but you couldn't rule it out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
A possibility.
It's always a possibility. And so now I was smart enough to not end those friendships, but like I just had to step back. You know what I mean? I can't get in touch with them as often. One time with my homie Deanna, me and her used to talk every day up at TSU and stuff, and like, or even afterwards. But like the first time I saw her after some years was like last year. We met up and went somewhere with Pat and them somewhere, and you know, and she get it. It's, you know, once you're in a certain situation or marriage, like certain things are going to taper off a little bit. So I just think you got to be careful with that, because I think, and especially with Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks in the industry that they're in, like the type of dudes that you're probably going to date. You push them into having some more female friends and
Taylor
basketball
Rooks and
players.
Joy Taylor could not be one. Neither one of them could be my friends.
Yeah, it'd be different.
One of them could be my friend.
It'd be different.
Kelly Rowland couldn't be my friend.
Yeah. Megan Good?
Oh, hell no. Keke Palmer, even though she toxic, she couldn't be my friend. I could go. I ain't got enough time to name, but you know both of the Reginas, Regina Hall and Regina King.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kyla Pratt. Like, I could go down the list. Now I got a whole, and I had to make a list.
Yeah.
Because we blowing up. It's only a matter of time. So I need to know once I get to a certain level. Stay away from me. Yeah. We can't be friends.
And I would see, like, from my point of view as a female, I've had guy friends and they all trying to holler at me. So if they had
at some point though, huh? At some point they tried to shoot the shot.
I had text messages. If he slip up, I'm marrying you. I've had like stuff like that. So some men are just waiting to slide in, and some women are doing the same thing. They may not be as verbal in sync, but women are just as the same way as me, and
they're not going to be verbal.
They're not going to be verbal, so
they're not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, the unfortunately though, a lot of women, like, y'all might like a guy, but y'all would never be able to get with the guy because y'all don't have any game. And I mean, because
yeah, I get you.
Because like with us, we have to be charming. We have to be. It's stuff that we have to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, so if think about how many dudes ain't got no job, ain't got no career path, have no goals, but end up with a nice. And you like, how in the heck? Because he got to be charming.
Right.
He got to have some game.
Got a mouthpiece.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Exactly. He got to talk velvet and spit linen.
Or eat linen.
On the flip, right. On the flip side, and you know this, you probably could show up. You just left the gym. You got on sweats. a headband. What's up, mom? What you doing? What's up, baby? How you doing? Oh, I said, girl, you must be tired. You've been running through my mind. I like, you get the needy and the greedy, the cheesiest pickup lines, and you're like, I literally smell like a sweat sock, and he's still pushing up. On the flip side, unless you look like how you did in the early 2000s when you was getting your tape digs on, you know what I'm saying? Or like The Rock or somebody like that, Idris Elba, Damson, you like one of them pretty niggas these women like. He can walk in sweaty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like when you the king of the regular niggas like me, like no, I can't walk. They just like, nigga, get out my face. So you have to have, that's the difference, right? Yeah. So Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks are speaking from a position of strength.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like. Now, and I mean, now show me the picture of you when you were in high school or college and you were 300 pounds and your teeth wasn't done and your hair wasn't done and you was pulling the dudes like that, I believe you. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you I'm going to look at your college picture and you're probably better than you are right now. Yeah. So you're speaking from a position of you got all the options you want.
Pretty much.
She spoke on, Misty just said something like, you know, about not encouraging it and even with herself. Oh, I had male friends, but they was out trying to holler. Did we not say this before? Men will settle. We settle for friendship.
Yeah.
I can say a lot of women that I had was my friends. They were my friends because I tried to holler at first.
That's the part nobody wants to talk about. And that's not everybody. That's not even everybody. But that's like, in general terms, like, usually if a dude finds you any type of attractive and you're taken already, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we can be cool, you know.
Right, because we hope the nigga, unless we know the nigga, we hope he mess up.
Yeah.
Because I want to be right there when you tell me. Let me tell you what this nigga did, and tell me. I'm gonna be like Faison in Money Talks. He said what to you, girl? Right. How he grab you? Like this, like you gonna be like, how you get your shirt off? Like right. That's we wait for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate this narrative that's like, oh, well, what kind of man are you when you can't meet a woman without talking to her? Like, no, it's those of us who can, and they're proud members of the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah. They're not trying. You don't have to ever worry about him trying to holler at you. Yeah. Because you're not what he wants or what he's into. Yeah. But any hot-blooded American male, like at some point, a switch flips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like.
Can be. Yeah.
Because just regular, if you got low testosterone, you think about sex 20 times in an hour as a man. That's low T. That's low T. Yeah. That means you ain't really producing that many soldiers. Now keep in mind, low T is if you're only producing a million. High T is like you're in the billions every day. Low T is 1 million. Now think about if, so we talked about this before, think about if somebody just every day, I'm just going to only give you $1 million in your account every day. And that's low? Yeah. Nigga, give me 1 million Skittles. Give me $1 million. Give me 1 million pennies. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we are wired a certain way. Now I'm gonna speak from my perspective. I do have women friends. Mm-hmm. I do not hang out with any of them. Right. And sometimes it's not even because we have something going on.
Like, this is maybe like a group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know my girl AO.
Yeah.
So like, but what I saw when we would hang out a lot of times, like, she would have dudes that would be trying to holler at her, but the whole time they're trying to figure out, are you every time I see you at a gig, how come this nigga's with you at every gig? And it's like, okay, I'm slick security. Yeah. I'm helping set up. I'm helping break down. I'm helping make sure, you know what I'm saying, they don't try to stiff her on the bill when it's time to get paid. Right. You know, because they see this little petite girl and well, man, they see me standing over there and it's like, let's go, we finna go see what we can do. We finna hit the ATM. Yeah. Like, I'm doing all of that. I'm trying to look at my own action up here. Right. You like, you see when she plays certain songs, you see me dancing on women in the crowd. Would I do that? If that was my girl, like, really? Yeah. But, and I had to explain to her, like, you don't understand, like, a lot of these dudes are not going to say it, but, like, you're introducing all your guy friends. They not going to admit it, but they thinking, like, one of them niggas getting it. And in reality, none of them. But they're thinking like either they getting it or they want to get it, and all those 7 niggas are my competition. And so that would pose a problem, and we didn't have nothing like that going on.
Yeah.
In other situations, and we were talking about this off camera, but like I've had relationships that have changed and were never able to go back because we crossed that line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's almost like, of course, you can identify with being out on the corner of the trap life. Like you know the guy that's moved like selling a couple of pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of that life till you in the shootout. You know what I'm saying? Or the stash house getting robbed or the police are raiding you. Then it's like,
nope.
Oh my good. So like a lot of people would live vicariously through me because, the ratchet life of Roche Rag. I'm living life to the fullest and I'm enjoying life. So they getting a kick out of listening to my ratchet tale. What you do last weekend. And you think you want to be a part of that. I say, no, this ain't what you want, sweetie. Like, stay over there.
It's different.
Stop playing.
Right. Now.
And when they cross that line,
yeah,
because they like one day and they catch me on the right day, all right, come on. And then now, but I go back to doing what I was doing before, and now you're trying to figure out what can I do to make him go with me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like that was the thing because I viewed them as a friend, but again, high-blooded American male, that ain't got nothing. My dick still works.
Yeah.
It don't stop working because.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you give me the right amount of motivation, the right time of day. You touch me in the right spot. Oh, well, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We got a party going on. But then after that's over with, though, I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that it's going to happen every situation or every time, but I do know a lot of times you have people who are waiting on both sides. You got women who are waiting for, man, I hope Mrs. Brown fuck up. Ooh, and JB done put on his dad weight too. He letting the beard grow and it connect. Like they waiting. And they just have, hey, JB, how was your weekend? They see you at the office. Hey, how them kids doing? Oh, I saw the pictures you posted. Y'all so cute. And then the whole time, they like, I wish you let her burn the greens one day. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I've been the nigga waiting, but again, being a friend, and I joked about being the king of the side niggas. That's why I was the king of the side niggas. Because I was around. I was there.
Yeah. So
when the dude, like, oh, that's your homeboy, like, oh, he in the threat. Yeah, no, I'm not. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when you fucking, she's gonna call me.
Yeah.
I'm like that fire hydrant in case of emergency. Break glass. I'm right. So, and our boy Pastor King, he said this. He wasn't trying to be funny, but like I just bust out laughing. A bunch of us did. But he was like, oh, he said, boy, let me tell you something. He said, if you don't never learn nothing else, learn this. Penis and vagina don't go together unless they go together. And he was, shout out to Pastor King.
Yeah.
But the point he was making is, because he made a point, and he told us about a guy who had a friend, like they was just friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They would talk every day, and one day he's sitting in a car talking. And she just flat-footed to like, you know what? I really want to, what we were talking about, the TD Chase thing. Yeah. Have you ever been swallowed?
Wow.
No, it's just like, I want to tune you up right now.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to respond. And he was like, you lying. Like, no, I want to tune you up right now.
Tune you up. Now.
So he thinking like, okay, ain't nothing to it but to do it. And then, but the deal was this guy, he was a guy that was in ministry.
Yeah.
So after it happened, of course he went, to his elders. He talked about it. Like, okay, did you ask the Lord to forgive you? Yeah. Okay. Well, you need to take some time out. You don't need to be in front of people. Yeah. Like, have you talked to your wife yet? He was like, no, why? He was like, I mean, based on where you are in your position, Like, did nobody tell you to put this jacket on? But you willfully put this jacket on, so now, and all of that happened because, what's my boy Biz Marquis? You say she's just a friend.
Yeah. You got to jump in there, Missy. You got to jump in there. Because I know you know some of the things, and as well, I know you're in the ministry arena.
And you outside.
You know what I'm saying? And you on the corner. You outside, you on the corner.
I wouldn't say she on the
Not
corner
on that
because in
kind
the
of
corner.
corner,
Yeah, in the corner. Like,
not Lamar
you know what I mean? In the corner.
Well, not the corner.
Yeah, that's why I said she on the porch.
You're right.
That's why I said she on the porch.
Yeah, not the corner. Okay, I'm thinking of the corner because, you know,
Yeah.
you can be.
Being outside, right.
Yeah. You can get.
Well, my thought, like, I think men and women are just kind of simple. You know, men fall in love with what they see, women fall in love with what they hear. So long as, it's so simple. It takes nothing. That's why men can be tricked by trannies. Like, if you just look the part, if a man, like you said, a man who don't have a job, a car, a house, or nothing, if he just talk the talk, he can get anybody. A man with a GED can get a woman with a PhD. It don't matter as long as you got the talk. So I feel like as long as you know that men fall in love with what they see, and women fall in love with what they hear, it's really dangerous. Like, if you know that one little thing, it's dangerous to put them in a room together alone. Anything can happen. So it's like, I just feel like it's just when the conditions are ready for that type of stuff, which is like he said, high-blooded heterosexual male, high-blooded heterosexual female, alone, things can happen. So I feel like it's just common sense. Just don't be alone with somebody that you're attracted to, or over time. It may not happen immediately the first time, second time, third time, but it's inevitable. It's the law of mutual. What's the law of eventual? I think mutual eventuality. It's just going to happen eventually. You know.
Question. Now, you saying that. Now, what about somebody that says? I saw somebody talk about this the other day. The same subject, and a woman brought up that, well, how immature is it that a man and a woman can't be around each other without doing something, or without having sex, or without having feelings or whatever toward each other, right? And then another dude said that, you know, like, context matters as far as, like, if you unattractive or ugly, that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she was like, no, that don't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
I mean, the conditions have to be like if you want to freeze, you want to make ice, you gotta have water, below 32 degrees, some time. Like, it's just condition. When the conditions are met, things are inevitable. If you speed with your eyes closed, there's gonna be an accident. It's not rocket science. It's not miracles. It's just common sense. So if a woman is attractive to a person, you know, so it's like you may say, you're not mature enough, you're not saved enough, you're not this enough. And I'm not. I know myself, I know my flesh. Right. So, you know, it's like not putting confidence in your flesh.
Right.
So it shows some immaturity and some lack of integrity, but it's happened a million times. Like David.
Is it though?
David met the God's own heart.
Yeah.
How many women did he have? You know, at the God's own heart, and you did this thing, you got a man set up to be killed, Uriah.
Right.
You know, so if I can't trust David, if I can't trust Peter not to deny Jesus 3 times, I don't put confidence in no flesh.
Yeah.
Okay, how spiritual you are, I think eventually.
I mean, how even Paul, like, the Holy Spirit told him, like, if you go here, you're going to get, your ministry is going to stop. Okay, but I still need to go.
Yes,
and it's like, okay, you realize when you do this, this is it. So you might want to wait if it's more stuff that can be done. It's like, no, I got to go. I got to go here right now. And like that was where his story ended in that space. That was where you and somebody else came to him, tied him up, and like, hey, the owner of this tied him up with his own belt. It's like, if you don't get it no clearer than this, the owner of this belt is finna go. This what's finna happen to him.
Yeah.
Okay, but I still need to go.
Like being attracted to somebody, that's not a sin. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be attracted for the rest of our lives to other people. Now, where it goes from the your response to the attraction. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let me get your number. Or now is, hey, let me get your Instagram handle. Or let me look you up on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like being attracted to a woman. Like sometimes we be somewhere, and my wife we see a voluptuous woman. You know what I'm saying? She like, I know you want to look. Be like, yeah. You know what I mean? She, you know, it's like, it's okay for being attractive, but where it goes. Where the immaturity, I guess, can come into play is if you are like pursuing it or doing something with it. And not even like, I'm speaking for myself. I don't want to speak for other dudes, but I know you can be, you know, snakish with your approach to certain things. Like, you know, because some people are real genuine about just wanting to see a woman smile, like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? You got a pretty smile there, da 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 da. You know what I mean? Other dudes know, hey man, I'm just trying to be happy. Nah, you slick trying to holler.
Yeah.
You slick trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I know some dudes like that. They just genuinely like trying to put a smile on your face. No, bad motives or anything like that. But a lot of dudes, like, if I'm doing that, I'm tapping back into my old bag. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I never did that without some type of intention. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't just come up to you and be like, man, your hair is so beautiful. Your earrings, they match your skin color or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that without, having.
Because you have to know the effect it has on women. Speech has effect on women.
Yeah.
And like women know what not to, like, I know what not to wear in a room full of men. I know what not to wear. Men know what not to say. So I think it's a matter of knowing, with this population, let me not say that, let me not wear that. But if you do it anyway, you are trying to start something.
Yeah.
You wore those pants for a reason. You said that for a reason. So I think you gotta be honest with yourself, knowing you trying to start something.
Yeah.
You trying to, like Michael Jackson, want to be starting something. You want to be starting something. You knew what you had on. You knew what you said. So that means just being honest about your intentions. And then sometimes, flirting is fun, makes somebody feel special, makes somebody feel beautiful. It's fun to flirt. Right. But then you got to understand, if I start this fight, if I like this match, it may ignite something. I'm just saying a flirty comment. Oh, that your hair looks good like that. And next thing you know, he thinking in his head, we're going to get married,
Yeah, you're right. So a lot of dudes could be thinking.
I mean, some of them
like that.
we can just be married tonight. Like, we ain't got to be married.
So if he say something, you say something, he say something, you say something, and y'all keep going.
Yeah.
But if you know where to cut it off, like a compliment, stop. If you keep building on top of that, it's going to start something.
Next, so in your situation, like, you've been around like men in the church and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Men that profess the name of Jesus, that are Christians and all this stuff. Like, is it any different than let's say you just meet a dude just out, just like thugging, clubbing, like in your experience, has it been like any different as far as being platonic friends, or still like they still like in a way
they just as wild.
Exactly.
I would think
the wildest people I've ever dated had been like pastor, Rooks
speak on
pastor,
it.
co-pastor.
Speak on it.
The church people are I ain't gonna say all of them, but the ones I've met. Holiness church men are the wildest, freakiest men I've ever met.
Like I said though, JB, like at the end of the day, your dick still works.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing so much repression that it's like they're doing so much repression that when they finally get a chance, they just lash out. But yeah, church men, they are, I would say, like, the worst. Like, not by the worst, I mean they're the most, like, sexually expressive, uninhibited.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, and this goes back to the point.
But obviously,
you talked about this, with shout out to the Preacher Man podcast, by the way.
Sure.
But humanizing, us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, and she just talked about repression. Like, guess what? It ain't just the heathen that want to fuck. The preacher do too. Man. But the only difference is the heathen can come out and say that.
Right.
Or when you meet the person that you look at as, oh, I got to help this person, they don't have no problem expressing that. You don't have no problem recognizing that that's what they want. But now to the person who's supposed to be, I'm on this platform and I'm supposed to be carrying myself a certain way. Well, your guard is down. Well, I mean, probably not now, but initially, like, your guard is down because it's like, oh, this is somebody who's supposed to be on this level, and he don't know how to say, like, hey, look, I'm just like them. I want the same thing that they want. Yep.
And ain't talking about somebody sitting in the pew or the choir. I'm talking about the pastor.
Yeah, somebody who about to crack it open. Everybody turn to Psalms chapter 1 like that.
The laying hands, the tongue speaking, baby. And I'm not trying to say it judgmentally. I'm just saying it's been my experience. This is what I've seen. I dated atheists. I dated pastors, and the pastors are way wild. Right. I think they hold so much in. That, the atheist he gonna spread it out anyway. But the Christian he gonna hold it in for a long time. So yeah, I don't see it's worse probably.
I think though, when you're in that position, I really feel like the expression comes from like, if I'm finna go across this line, it's finna be all in.
Before I repent, I need to have all.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm finna shoot my shot. I'm finna do, and then if I go across the line, I'm finna have as much fun as I can because I know I can't stay in this
Sunday,
spot.
I got to get back in place.
I gotta be. So that means Thursday through Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna be wild, man. I'm trying to see you as much as I can. Yeah. I'm trying to make a Tubi movie. Which, when she was making a point of, like, talking about the immaturity, like, why men and women can't just hang out together, I'm like, ain't that the plot of every Tubi movie? Like, I mean, think about let's just, because these movies that we watch, they're based in some form of reality. Look at Soul Food.
Some form, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How did Vanessa Williams' husband, Mike, because Michael Beach is always messing up in his marriages and movies, by the way. But how did he mess up with Cousin Faith? He was just hanging out with her. Yeah. And he didn't even make a move on her. Yeah. We talked about this.
We're saying like if the nanny, your nanny needs to be like 50 plus, overweight, speak another language. You don't need a 20-year-old nanny because something's gonna happen. I don't have no 20-year-old poor boy. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. So in that situation, he didn't even make a move on her though, right? But they was drinking together. He was a little faded.
It was an argument between him and Vanessa. And
right.
It was inevitable.
But opportunity, like you talked about, the conditions being conducive. But he actually got up and walked away from her. Remember? He got up and went to the piano. He starts playing on the piano, and what she do? She got up and walked right over to the piano, and she grabbed his hand. And when she put his hand there, but again, opportunity, proximity. We look at what's that movie, Best Man, right? Remember Tay Diggs cheated. Remember he messed with Forrest Gump. But think about it. Why did that happen? They were always at the newspaper, right? Newspaper and everything like that. And then the lights go out, you know, at the thing. And remember, he kissed her on the forehead. And she had
an ulterior motive because she was trying to get back. She was trying to get back from Lance. She was trying to get back with Lance, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Again, what's the darn Raising Kanan? Rock and Unique.
Unique, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that happen? They're constantly around each other.
Yeah.
Proximity. And that's the thing, like you were saying, like you don't know previous motives and agendas. So like the example with in the movie Best Man, she was mad at the other guy.
And Lance, yep.
And so you thinking it's my female friend, but she's like, I gotta get back at so who am I use? So you walking into an agenda, you didn't even know what's happening. You thinking this is my friend, I forehead kiss her. It's like all the other times.
Love and basketball.
It's one time.
Love and basketball, yeah.
You don't know what you don't know the previous agenda in the room when you walk in. Like you don't know if the spouse and them had a fight the day before or get revenge on somebody. You don't know what the agenda is. So you can walk in with your nature, your innocent human nature, and walk into a trap. You know.
And that's the crazy thing now. Like me being married, like I second guess myself a lot now because you've been a different mind frame when you're single and stuff. It's like you kind of know when a woman kind of feeling you by eyes and posture and stuff like that. And so now, even though I may see it sometimes, I be like, nah. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you know what I'm saying?
She wouldn't try that.
Right, because I'm used to acting on it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I find her attractive, too. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like you have to psych yourself out to a degree. It's like, nah, man. Like, I'm tripping because I know some dudes be delusional sometimes, be like, it's sometimes you be at the gym or wherever, like sometimes you can just lock eyes. You know what I'm saying? You're not even meaning to. You looking up at the same time, be like, dang, this is like the third time we done, you know what I'm saying? Looked at it, now she gonna think I'm wanting her, and you know what I mean, and vice versa. So I know stuff like
my boy did on Swarm, give it a what's up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like give it right on or something. like
don't give it a right on.
But that's a push out.
No, you know what? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's a push out.
I just thought about that. No, if you're trying to get her to go the other way, then hit her with the.
Yeah. If you're trying to get her to go, be like, yeah, right on, sister. Doing like that, but. I'm glad you said that because, it's not us because we can be talking on here, and people be like, y'all just chauvinists, you know what I'm saying stuff like that. But even from your perspective, obviously you're not every woman as well, but you speak from.
I know a lot of women.
Correct. Yeah, right. Even from their experiences, right?
Yeah.
So speak on some of that you know about, some of the other experiences, not just particularly you. Is that pretty much kind of the same thing as far as your experience?
You mean like women? What do you mean like with women friends plotting or
just women that you have known or been around? How do they feel about their man or husband or something having women friends and encouraging them to have them.
Like most women I know, they're kind of they would say definitely not. They know they've probably been cheated on before. So most women I know would say do not have female friends. The female friends you do have, cut them off. They're suspicious of first. Some of them are suspicious of first and second cousins. So they would say no because they know the nature of men.
Yeah.
Like they know men's nature. They know women's. They know themselves. They know what they used to do when they was in high school and college. Because they know themselves and they know men. They have enough sense to know I don't need to push these two. I don't need to push these two together.
Now, what if I were to say this? Like, women that think that way, they're insecure.
You mean they have a reason to be insecure? They have a reason.
Okay,
because,
right.
It's like Bathsheba, David and Uriah. Just like your wife is beautiful.
Yeah.
And David's a little player. He got game, and Uriah probably a lame, and he don't. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they probably have a reason to be insecure because maybe their man have cheated on them before.
Right.
Or their ex cheated on them, or they did it too. They've done it before.
Yeah, and I'm glad you pointed that out because I really highly dislike or even hate when I hear some women say that, oh, they just insecure. But I'm like, to your point, they have a reason to. Mm-hmm. And like, it ain't nothing wrong with that. Like being vulnerable, transparent about dog, like, no, I've been cheated on, or in your case, no, I've been sexually assaulted at a young age. Like stuff happens, like. And so you don't know somebody's story. So it's like to call somebody just insecure. It's like, well, yeah, probably, but they got a good reason to be insecure. You know what I mean? And maybe they haven't fleshed that out yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'll say, and that's even, like I've talked about this. I've talked about this, of course, last week. But I mean, even as an adult, though, times where this is my friend.
Yeah,
she's in a bad space. Okay, yeah, I'll sleep on the couch over here. You know what I'm saying? And then I wake up and my whole dick in your mouth. No, but you my friend though. You're supposed to be my friend, and the only reason I put myself in the situation because we're supposed to be friends. I don't even look at you that way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you're violating me right now. Mm-hmm. Now again. And I'm not gonna sit up here and, oh my God, my life is messed up. But what I'm saying is the lack of respect. I can't be friends with you the same way. Not because we crossed the line, but had we mutually crossed the line, that's one thing. But for you to use my friendship and take advantage of that, and again, we ain't got no kind of tension like that going on.
Can a woman take advantage of you physically?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I just say this. I know a dude who, and you look at the son and it's like, oh dang, you literally spit him out. Like I'm talking about spitting image. Uh-huh. And he expressed to me, he was like, we was talking like, man, your son look just like you. How come y'all don't get along? Mm-hmm. And he proceeded to tell me the reason. Part of the reason was because of the relationship that he had with the son's mom. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, man, she drugged me. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And to keep in mind, like, this dude, he's a handsome older dude. Like, you can tell he ain't got no problem. He was like, man, this is a chick I knew, had known for years. We worked together. We were friends. Said one night she invited me over. We sitting there drinking wine. Like, and she just keep giving me the wine. Or like, and I know how to handle my stuff. We kicking it. He was like, I wake up the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like I done laid down on the couch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Get up and leave. Like, no big thing. She act like nothing happened. He was like, it might have been. And she did. He tried to reach out to her. She wouldn't return his calls or whatever. So like maybe a couple of years had passed. She called him and was like, I wanted to know if you want to be, be involved. He was like, be involved. I was like, well, with this baby. He's like, you had a baby? I'm like, yeah. I had your baby. And so he started laughing. He's like, stop playing. She's like, no, for real, I had your baby. She's like, we ain't never had sex. And she's like, yes, we did. Like, is everything okay? We've never had sex. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you remember that night you came over and we was just laughing and talking and drinking wine? And he said he realized then it's like she just kept giving me. She wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's a way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've had people do stuff like, oh, my power went out. Can I come stay? Now, this is a little bit older, wiser than me. Like, I'm not even at the house. And I'm literally sitting on my couch changing Hulu. Like, nah, I ain't even at the crib right now. Oh, okay. Well, I had drove past. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, my car there, but my homeboy came and screwed me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and be outside the door.
Yeah.
Trying to see, like, if I'm in the crib.
Yeah.
But they're trying to take advantage of a situation. So now I've been in some situations where people will use the friend thing, especially if they feel like you ain't moving fast enough, or you playing with me. You know I like you. That's the only reason why I'm always offering you a plate every week. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why. Like, yeah, that's the only reason why I'm letting you use my Netflix password. It ain't because we ain't that good of friends. It's time to pay back what you owe. So, but I'm saying, and in some cases, even with how she alluded to the church women, I had women be like, okay, well, you know what, we shouldn't be. We need to wait until we get married. Okay, cool, bet, let's do that. And every time it's like, what are you doing? I thought we waiting. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, again, being asleep. Now, again, if it's the other way around, if she's with a guy and she's saying wait, and he's saying okay, and then she wake up and her underwear off and he down there doing what, he just assaulted her. Ain't nobody gonna argue with that.
Yeah.
He gonna lose that 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, definitely.
But now if this is the other way around, oh man, you should be. She can't take advantage of you. Mm-hmm. How come? If he didn't pull it out, like how come she can't?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the way I was originally, I'm thinking physically, yeah.
Not overpowering, no.
You're not overpowered, but like if she did like put something in your drink or did something like that, it could happen.
Yeah, I heard some people say they may cut off the lights or something, and you think it's one person, but it's like in the movies. But you could trick people.
Yeah,
like it was like Rachel and Leah. You could trick people like that.
Right.
But yeah, not like so. Not maybe not so much physical overpowering, but women be scheming like men
scheme for sure. Definitely.
They say when women play chess, men play checkers. Women be scheming. They be 10 weeks out planning something, then it happens because they set it up. They set the conditions up to happen like it did.
Kind of like that Drea and Jalen Green. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not saying that it's impossible.
Yeah. Brittany,
but it's just, just more often than not, because I know if me and you was just to be like, you know what, let's just go out and hit the town and let the chips fall where we may.
Right. We
not sitting over there looking at, hey man, you see her sitting over there at the bar? Yeah. With the skirt on, yeah, nigga, with the skirt on, with the red bottoms on.
Yeah.
Hey, I bet she know how to do taxes real well. We not at never.
Right.
Hey, JB, you think she like the Grizzlies, bro? You think she know?
Think she a Cowboy fan?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You think she know, man? She thinks she know who y'all gonna resign free agents off season? Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. That's real.
Like we are not here for a long time. We are here for a good time. Mm-hmm. And my line is always, you look delicious and I want to bite you, and I know exactly what you're trying to do and it's working. Like that's it. That's it. Ain't no point in like, and I just reached a point where I just wasn't gonna play the game anymore.
Yeah.
And then when I got into a certain, I don't want to say age, but I guess a certain mentality, you can only be put in the friend zone if you allow yourself to stay there.
True.
And so cool.
And the friend zone is it's like a waiting room.
Yeah.
The friend zone is like a waiting room.
Right.
We're just waiting.
I like that. Okay.
For your chance.
Yeah.
The waiting room.
No man wants to be in the friend zone.
Yeah. Like, okay, you
not
just want to be friends? Okay, cool. Well, we're going to be friends. I'm glad you said that. Because now I'm only available when I want to be available. I'm not at your beck and call whenever you need me, when you want to go see a movie and you don't feel like paying for it, so you call me, or you want to go out to eat and I'll grab the bill. Like, no, if I'm not available, I'm not going to move stuff around.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You don't do that for your homeboys. So if you just my friend and I can't move it around, or I don't feel like moving it around, you should understand because we're just friends. Unless we're more than friends, in which case,
right,
then don't friend zone.
Stuff can happen. Now, let's switch it up now. With the last names now. Missy, this came up. This is probably late last year, and I made a post on Facebook or something about it. And I think at the time I was like, I was like, man, yeah, we actually was gonna talk about it like beginning of this season, but we need it'd be great to have a woman on, to really discuss, to have some type of objectivity, to go along with that. Now, when it comes to last name, in my perspective, it was always a thing for me. I just think that's the way it should go. Now, I did get some perspective on my Facebook post because I grew up with some people that are doctors, and so they did it, but it was like, she was like, it was hell to go through all that process to get it changed because of, other stuff like that. And, obviously you got a situation where people are celebrities and famous to where now their whole brand, corporately is, for lack of Whitney Houston, and so now it's like she married Bobby Brown, like she's in the thick of her career in the prime, like it wouldn't make any sense to change it to Whitney Brown or even Whitney Houston Brown. You know what I mean? Like I get that, but that's an anomaly type of situation, right? But for most people, I'm like, in order to, I just think it's the best thing. Like, but again, if your man or your husband cares less about it, that's between them. You know what I mean? But most men that I know, that name means something. You know what I'm saying? But not only just to take their name, but it means something, a whole lot of other things. You know what I mean? It means that, you want to take on this responsibility of taking on my name. You want to, be a part of this family that the name came from. And so so it's just, so when a woman to me doesn't take that name, it's just not, it's just a name like a dude. I know me, I don't look at it just like it's a name. It's something way more deeper than just taking my name. You basically saying I ain't good enough. In a sense.
Would that have been a deal breaker for you?
For sure. It would have been. And I think Todd said something about it too on the thing, and it was like, man, your woman, she's a good woman, you think you would have. I was like, yeah, because at the end of the day,
right, I remember
this would have been something that we've talked about during the dating phase, right? Or maybe not, would you take my last name, but I just would have got the vibe of, like, she ain't taking my last name, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just would have been there, right?
Yeah.
And so I would have been known, and I just would have just slowly, pushed myself away. So, but that was one of the things that I think that I wanted. Like, I can't speak for any other dude. I know some dudes that are cool with it, don't feel the way I do. But for me, I think taking the last name is something that I wanted. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, because if you didn't, it just wasn't like you wasn't taking my name. It's just a nonchalant type of thing. It was like, nah, you kind of like, what's up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why, you talking about, you don't like my mom or dad, you don't like my name, you know what I'm saying? You don't, quote unquote, you don't want to submit, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But, so, tell me, miss, what's up, man? What you think?
So now I looked up about that, the practice. It's called coverture, COVERTURE, with practice of change. I know it's mostly a European, American thing, but
coverture. Okay.
Yeah, so and I know, like, I was looking up some research. There's until 1970 in America, a woman could not get a passport, a driver's license, or vote if she did not change her name to her husband's last name.
Okay.
So that was until 1970. That's kind of recent.
1970?
To 1970 in America, a woman I could not leave the country if I was married unless I changed my paperwork on my last name. I could not vote. I could not drive a car. No driver's license.
Okay.
So it was a big thing. But I feel as if, like, when you get, I'm more traditional, so I do feel as if when you get married, it's like in the Bible when God did something different with, like, went from Abram to Abraham, or Saul to Paul. I feel like when you have a major change in your life, a shift in your life, I think you should. I think a name change is good.
Right.
And I think there's nothing wrong with the practice. Like, I think it's my mom changed her last name both times. I think it's a good practice. And, like, now in the case of professional women, like my mother was an attorney. My mom passed away 2022, but my mother was an attorney for like 23 something years. So she built a whole law practice under Myra Quinn. This is my dad's last name, Myra Quinn. So she had like tons of clients. She had probably hundreds of clients who knew her as Myra Quinn, attorney Myra Quinn. So when she got married to my stepdad, you know, a lot of her clients wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known to Google or look up Myra Martin. They didn't know her like that.
Yeah.
So what she did, she made like her middle name Quinn. So she made herself Myra Quinn Martin. So that way if her clients would Google her or look her up, they wouldn't be like, who is this? So, you know, so I know when women are professional, like if you're like a celebrity or something like that, a doctor, you know, I can see why women, if you build a whole, like if I had a book, my book is written in Writeous Rhema, but if it was Misty Quinn, if people were trying to find me and they're like, they wouldn't look up Misty Martin, I'm like, who is that? So I do feel as if you have a lot of things in print or CDs or albums or films out there under a name, I can see you wanting to keep it so people would not lose your following. But I'm more traditional. I do believe that women should, you know, change their last name. Because it does kind of show, cause like, you know, when you get married, you leave and cleave and you kind of change your identity some. So if your identity stays exactly the same the whole time, it's like you're not trying to lose your identity. You're trying to still be your whole full self. And what are you really leaving behind if you don't want to, you know, because name has a lot of power to it. So I feel like women should change their last name. I know a lot of feminism going on. And you know, you know, it was the time where women could not own property. So she had to have her. So I understand all the background of it. But I believe that women should change their last name.
Now, some of the feminists, now since you brought that up, I've heard them like, why don't you take my last name?
Right.
Oh, dang. He was like, you know, why don't you take my last name? Or can it be a discussion? You know, like I know traditionally I'm supposed to take your name, but, you know, but hey, like we're in 2024. Like, why can't you discuss taking my name? Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah. And another thing I thought about when you were speaking, like it's also, it's one of the things, not only the ring is obviously a big giveaway, but then obviously if I'm in high school and I'm looking up somebody that I know his name was Kimberly Nash, you know what I'm saying, and I see her years later and I'm single, you know, and I see her name Kimberly Nash, I'm going to be like, oh, shoot, she ain't got married yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, snap, I, you know, may get a shot. So it's also a sign before you even having a conversation. It's like, nah, I knew you as, my wife's maiden name was Heron, you know, but now it's Brown. So now it's a whole different identity and it's a whole different life. So to me,
you can't approach me the same way.
Yeah. So it's like, how can you not do it in good faith? Like I don't expect, I want to say a believer, but like I even know some people that's not a believer that think like this pretty much like, you know, how I, you know, feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's even a believer or a Christian thing. It is. I think it's biblical, but I think you got a lot of people just like that's ingrained in them because being married, like it's a totally different life. You know what I'm saying? So a totally different identity, as you were saying, like Abram as Abraham. You know, when Paul took on his new identity, you know what I mean? He changed, you know what I'm saying? His name changed. And so I think it's the proper thing to do. And so to me, I just think when people put the hyphy on it, that's like, I don't even like it. Like I said,
I mean, Hispanic cultures, you know, they keep their mother and their father last names. So, you know, a lot of cultures don't change their name. In some cultures, it's illegal to change your name. You have to keep your same maiden name. You know, so I think it's an American thing. So I think it's just I do think it kind of shows a sign of like she's not submitted.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Like,
oh, you said the word. You said the word. Oh snap!
It's like in case we divorce,
she said the
I ain't
word.
Gotta change nothing. My paperwork. In case we divorce, my passport ain't gotta be changed. I think it's almost like having like a prenup kind of.
Like a just in case.
It feels like a prenup. It's like in case he act the fool, I can get up out of here. Yeah. I gotta change my visa, my passport, all the things. So I feel like it's kind of it's almost like she's got one foot in the door, one foot out the door type of situation. So yeah. I would be kind of like, it's like you said that the ring is like a man not wearing his ring. It's like, why you don't put your ring on? Just a ring.
Yeah, you getting
put the
into
ring
something
on,
else.
You know? If you need the house with his ring off every time, it's like, you trying to not claim me. So,
no. Now, we talked about this. If a woman does it, it's definitely. If a woman leave the ring, it's definitely like.
Oh, yeah, it's something else.
Oh, yeah. She's like, you
y'all
beefing.
Nigga.
You
y'all beefing.
But now, like.
Definitely.
In the Bible, whenever God made a covenant with somebody, their name changed, right? Like Abram to Abraham. Even Sarah, it was Sarai, from Sarai to Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Jacob went from Jacob to Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like we still refer to him as Jacob, but his name changed to Israel. after the covenant was made, when they wrestled, all night, and he broke his hip.
Yep.
So, to break the hold on him, he changed his name to Israel. We don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of name changing with covenants. I will say it's more of a Western thing, not necessarily an American thing, but we have to remember, up until a certain point in history, people didn't have surnames or last names. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be JB's son. Or it would be like, oh, you're Tobias, son of JB.
You know
what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're Roche, son of Roche. Like, that was how you were referred to. It wasn't necessarily a last name. You were just referred to as whoever your daddy was.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus said, that's Joseph's boy.
Right, that's Joseph's son.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So it's more of a Western thing. I would say probably 1500s, 1600s when people started actually taking surnames or having a last name. And generally the last name was whatever region you were from or whatever your job was. Like, for example, a Smith, you got the Smith last name from like a blacksmith or whatever type of Smith you were. That's how you got the Smith last name.
If you're a free slave, you're a freeman or something.
Right.
Right.
Or Johnson actually came from John's son. You know what I'm saying? And so now because you're John's son, now all of your kids' last name is just going to be Johnson. Because the progenitor of their family was John. And all of his son, so your last names is going to be Johnson. So then when that started to take place, then it did become a form of identity, like what you were saying, JB. So what people don't see is essentially when you reject the last name, what you're saying is I'm still holding on to
your previous identity.
Your past. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
A lot of times, especially like I would say last 100 years or so, the way that they kept up with the kids to know who was related to who was, you got your daddy's last name. So now if everybody holding on to a last name, you might be messing around sleeping with a cousin or even a sibling.
Right.
Because, what's your last name? Oh, your last name Davis. Oh, my last name Raglan. But had your last name been Raglan, I would have known like, oh, wait, Raglan, nah, we related. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, your last name Davis too? Well, we need to check.
Right.
Because my last name, like, we may not be related. Davis a little bit more common, but let's check. You know what I'm saying? But like now, if Raglan, Davis, we ain't got. I don't think we got no that. But all the while, somebody didn't get somebody's last name. You see what I'm saying? So in that aspect, it is dangerous. I don't see the need. Like now again, you built up a practice of 20-something years.
Right.
And I want to say she did change her last name though, right?
Yeah, and she
just kept it on.
She didn't even hyphenate it though. She made, my mom is Myra Lane Quinn, but she made Quinn her middle name. She didn't hyphenate it. She just had Myra Quinn Martin. So her last name was still Martin, but like at work she would add the Quinn so people could not be lost on who she was. Right.
So even in that aspect, it was still a change. Like I'm still receiving you. This is just for the benefit of people who, to make a connection so they don't get confused. Yeah. But I just hate the arrogance of people. Oh, how will people know how to find me? Like, nobody knows you now.
Right. People, Facebook friends, like, people from high school, like, how would they get to look me up if my name is different? You know what I'm saying?
Check my sister.
But they got the other names thing where you can put your maiden name on there.
Yeah.
So if you type in the maiden name, like, it's going to pop up.
Yeah, that's true.
But I just hate the arrogance of people like, oh, nobody, what about my... You're selling cookies out the trunk right now. You don't have a store.
Right.
You don't have a store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, people act like...
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these locations, and if you... Or like Famous Amos. His last name is actually Amos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody else, Famous John, that's not even your last name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people get mad about stuff just to be mad about it and just to be fake woke, just to be pandering to society, just to fit in, just to say they're... I don't know what black people's allegiance to Democrat is, just like what I don't know what a lot of other ethnicities.
Yeah.
loyalty to being a Republican is. Like, a lot of people just voting because that's the way my mom and my daddy did it.
It's deep.
And now it's a lot of people, you woke but you didn't even realize you were asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't understand why we get fake outraged about stuff.
Yeah.
I've even heard some people like some black people they're refusing English or slave masters' last names. They're saying I want that. So a lot of people getting African last names and African first names.
Yeah.
So or even like the Muslims, Malcolm X, like they get rid of the last name altogether.
Yeah.
So.
But if they know the history of that though, and this ain't to shit on nobody's faith, but a lot of those names, slavery was first practiced in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
When Morocco, which was an Arabic country, invaded Timbuktu. That was the fall of the Songzi Empire. Y'all were curious. You look it up. I'm not finna do your homework for you. But I got books on this. I've researched it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I took my time to do it. You take the time and do the same due diligence. But that was an Arabic country. They enslaved Timbuktu, which was in Africa, which was a country in Africa. And so guess what? Those Arabic names, a lot of those names that you're taking, Muhammad and Abdul and Wahid, those are the same Arabic slave master name. Like, if we just gonna keep it a buck, because we quick to talk about, this the white man's religion, and you just, okay, well, with the quote unquote, that technically ain't the black man's religion either, but you're taking those same names. And for all you people taking African names, a lot of us are not 100% African. We got to understand that Judah was in. Never mind, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't got time. But so, like, that's why they were mad about that documentary that was made that Kyrie was talking about, and Kanye was like, a lot of us need to research that, but then also, we don't know the history of the Olmecs, who were a tribe of people who left Africa, and they basically sailed around the world, and they made stops in Australia. Mm-hmm. They made stops in Hawaii, Japan. They made stops over here. Have you ever wondered why, like, a lot of those the totem poles, like in Mexico and stuff, why those faces got afros on them? So you mean to tell me all the Native Americans look like Antonio Banderas, but y'all got totem poles with somebody with noses like us and an afro on it?
Yeah.
Who is that? Yeah. Who is that guy? Mm-hmm. That looks like a black dude. Mm-hmm. Seminole, if you look up Seminole, which was an Indian tribe, Seminole comes from a word meaning black. The Oxford Dictionary, and I believe it was 1600 and something, but the word nigger was used to refer to as anyone with black skin and indigenous to North America, us. Yeah. So they call the natives of this country. You land here and the natives got black skin. Escaped slaves were able to hide out with the Indians. Why? Because they look just like them.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, we say we got this myth of taking names and we don't understand who we are, whose we are, where we come from. And so we think we doing one thing. And like, oh, I'm going to take an African last name, and you don't know, you probably came from somebody who was indigenous to here. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to take me an African last name, and you don't know, you actually came from Judah.
I'm pretty simple,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
I'm pretty simple. You made a good point with that. But also, this way I look at it. I looked at this was a while ago. Like, even if you look through all the Bible and stuff, right? You know, God is sovereign. He's, he sees everything before it's coming, right? And so now I'm like, you can think what you want about the last names. Okay, Brown was my slave owner's name, which you're probably right. I'm not going to negate that. But when you look at the word, all you see is first names. I think you mentioned that, right? So it's like, even with all my kids, I took the time to name my kids because the first name, that's what matters. You know what I'm saying? Even through the word, you don't see, I don't remember seeing anybody's last name. You've seen tribe names. You've seen you've seen first names. Like, so name your kids something that means something. You know what I'm saying? Don't just name them, you know, just the most
Jaquelian.
Jaquelian, you know, like the most ghetto names.
Jaquelian?
You know what I mean? Like, and so
I was eating Jello and I was listening to the ATLians album by Outkast, and so I just combined.
put them all to Alexis.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
I got a cousin named Alexis, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, but like,
I knew. Let me stop. That was one of my homeboys, but I knew a kid named Kavasi.
Kavasi. Okay.
And so he just went by Va.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I asked him one day, I said, Va, I said, that's unique. I said, I've never heard of a name like that. I said, you know, where does that come from? And so like when I'm talking to him, he just put his head down. And I'm like, what? And he's like, man, it's short for something. I'm like, so I'm trying to think, what is Va short for? And keep in mind, now, you know me, I drink cognac. Like, I'm a yak connoisseur. Like, what is Va short for? He was like, man, Cavassier. Now, I got to try to keep a straight face after he just told me that.
Good. Oh, you did good.
He may watch this podcast, you know.
You know, hey, but that's still my guy, though. And I was like, so I said, you ever had Cavassier? He was like, yeah. I was like, you like it? Yeah. I was like, hey, well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it worked out. But
that is the point, man. The first name should matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's a coincidence all through the Bible that you see people's first names. Because it's like God is slick, like telling us, like, I know what's coming down the road and all this other stuff and Muslim, Islam, your last name, slave name, you're going to feel a certain type of way about it. Pay attention to your first name. You know what I'm saying? Get wisdom on what you need to name your child with the first name.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's, I don't see any kind of disconnect with what we're doing, but we did want a woman's perspective kind of on that, right? So from what I'm hearing is like, even from you, now, what about some of your friends? Are some of your friends that you know, like they think differently about it?
I think they all. I think maybe the ones who are really successful probably wouldn't, but I think they all wouldn't be willing to change, you know.
Right.
I think everyone who wants to find it can find it. If you're that famous, you can find me on Facebook. And if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook and message me. So I think most of a lot of my sorority sisters who got married, you know, they're doing well and they changed their names. Yeah. You know, so I feel like, you know, so I think it's because we're in the South and African American. I think maybe it's just conventional, but maybe like if they're in New York or California somewhere, they probably would have definitely like, you take my last name or something.
I think this is the way I think. I think if you meet your match, whatever that is, a woman, you know what I mean? If you meet your match, why wouldn't you change your last name? You know what I mean? Like, because you have
a world that exists where you would have changed your last name.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
It's no, yeah. It would be. You
know what I tell somebody if they ask me to change my name to their name?
I'll just look at it.
I say go to hell. Yeah, and mean it though.
Yeah, I wouldn't
even know what it's like when you come back.
I just would look at them like.
So how do you feel about proposing to a man?
Absolutely.
Ooh, did you see her
face?
Oh, did you see her
not
face?
Not even it.
That's a whole meme. We just made a whole GIF off of your reaction when I asked you that.
She gave you that.
She looked like, say what?
She gave you that nigga
look.
What?
Nigga, what?
We know, I heard this guy yesterday, he was saying there's 5 categories for women. Men have 5 categories of women. A woman who begs to be with him, that he never gives her time of day. The second one is a woman that, he'll bust down, he'll sleep with her, occasionally. Third one is she'll just do like, I'll settle for her, I'll date her for 10 years, never marry her. The fourth one was a dream girl. And the five was like a queen, like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, she's like his dream girl. He just dated her because she makes him go up in status.
Trophy, yeah.
So I feel like when a woman proposes to a man, it's like she'll always be like 1, 2, or 3. She'll always be like, I feel like if he didn't see that for you in the first few days, I feel like men know within the first few, I think, days or weeks, a woman is wife material. So if you gotta ask a man after waiting 3 years, he's just like, he'll never do anything for you. He'll never treat you right. He'll never take you on dates, buy you flowers. Yeah. So I think when a woman proposes to a man, it's like he already didn't see you like that.
It never works.
And you have to fight the whole marriage, asking him, come into the date, come and do this, cut the grass, get a job. I feel like when a woman proposes to a man, he always stays like it's like she sets the tone for him to always do the bare minimum.
I agree.
So I would never, ever propose to a man.
Yeah, now that's a thing now. One of the dudes that we know, if you remember, Iceman. Iceman before he got with.
Oh, right. No, but you know what he
He-
told me? You remember, like, what he told me after that happened? Not so, like, I remember he made
told me.
a
I remember he
thing.
told me,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he came back to me later on, and he was like, man, he said, Shay, you was right. He was like, man, she never respected me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the respect level was never there. You know, and then where he is now currently,
Yeah.
you know, he did all that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
He
But
did the
it's
pursuing.
a totally different thing.
It's
Like if a deer hunts a lion, it's like, what's wrong with this meat? You know, something wrong with
If
this
a
one.
deer is like, ooh,
come get
the
me.
water is fresh over here today.
That's a trap. That's a
Right.
trap. There's something seriously wrong with that deer meat.
Man, that deer
So I
done
feel
ate
like
some
I wouldn't. The
grass
predator
that
should
had,
never
what's that
chase.
stuff, ortho? The deer that ate some of that ortho grass.
Like
get
whenever
some
the
of
prey chases the predator, there's something wrong with it. That means that there's something
Yeah.
really wrong with it. No offense to women who are proposing men. I'm just saying.
No, it's offense.
Yeah,
It's a definite offense over here because
It's a red flag.
it's a definite red flag. I've never seen it work. I've heard of people twice that I know, and even when it happened to Iceman, I think he said, and you know, I ain't say that. I was like, you know, just congratulations, you know what I'm saying? But
I didn't say nothing on the post. Like, I called him. Like, I immediately, I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, this was
Like,
a personal message. I was like,
Yeah.
congrats, you know, but I was like, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
I think I told him too after that. I was like, you sure? Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause somebody, I think she did it in public too. It was like at a, it was like at a mall.
That puts pressure on them. Like, if I do it in front of all his family and friends, he got to say, it's like you're trying to force him.
Man, I'm like, are you really trying to break up in front of all these people right now? Like, that's what I was like, are you really trying to break
if
up
the
in
man
front of all
says
these
no,
people right
it's
now?
like he's the a-hole for not saying yes. I feel like women do like this. They trying to put pressure on you, and they're gonna try to force you the whole relationship. Let's have a kid. Let's move here. Let's do this. So women who are pushing in that way, they're gonna push the whole marriage the entire time. If they ever stop pushing, it's gonna just stop.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
That was one of the reasons. Well, not one of the reasons. Like with Rachel, like she was 8 years younger than me, where it was so easy. Because before it was women my age. You know, I dated women that was older than me too. It was like that pressure was just on. It was just like that do defense. And you know what I'm saying? Slapping the floor. Like it was just. What you gonna do? Where we at? Where we at? Where we going? What we gonna do? Like dang, you know. And so one of the things like, and men, we're so easy. You know, we talked about we're so easy. Like, if you cook, if you clean, if you sex your guy up, if you inspire him, he will do whatever you want. And you wouldn't even have to do necessarily all that stuff. But if you have a cycle of those things, it's like
you won't have to get on bended knee and propose.
No, man.
You know.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why I tell I be telling my Rachel sometimes just like, look, man, I'm pretty simple, man. You can manipulate me all day. You know what I'm saying? Take me in the back. We do something like, you know what I'm saying? And if you trying to do that to get me to wash the dishes or let me take you out, go on vacation or something, I would take that. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not a thing for me. So I'm just like, if dudes can, well, not even dudes, but if women can kind of like, come around to, maybe seeing that. But I think it's an ego thing too, because it's a tug and pull, relationship. Because no, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna give them the satisfaction. Then on our end, we like, sure, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to give her the satisfaction of X, Y, and Z. And so it could be a tug and pull. I'm learning now. Like I just finished busting down the dishes today. You know what I'm saying?
I just laughed because you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Me had a type of women they bust down, and so now you busting.
I bust down the dishes.
That's the only busting down you doing.
Right, I bust down the dishes today. You know what I mean?
Where your clothes at, huh?
So it's like, but it's and I see that she's appreciated. Not even that she said it. I could just see her tone and her posture. More. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, I think that could definitely work on the hand. But if somebody is proposing, if a woman is proposing into another man, like I think, I know it's gonna be some problems, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be some problems.
Now you talking about like this is how easy I am. And this is gonna, out of context, this is gonna sound extremely narcissistic and chauvinistic and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you to do what I say. and it's only two. Do what I say. It's only two of them. It's only two of them.
Go ahead.
The first one is when I know, say for example, it's a pothole in the middle of the street. I say, hey, don't drive that way to work because you're gonna have an accident and avoid that or whatever. So now you can go that way. Don't call me when you hit the pothole. You know what I'm saying? You call me like, what am I going to... And now, because guess who got to fix... I got to fix it.
You got to fix it.
But that's why I told you don't go that way, because I knew it's something that I already am aware of, and I know how the movie going to end.
Yeah.
So to save us from all of that back and forth later on,
yeah.
The other one is when you call me and you don't have a solution to a problem. And you're not venting. You're really trying to figure something out.
Yeah. But
now you get me invested in it.
Yeah.
And in some cases, like the way if it's something serious, I'm not so arrogant to think like I just know. I mean, I think I do know everything, but I know that I don't know everything.
At least you said it. Like
I know that I don't. It's just.
No, I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like being. I was never brought up to be in a situation where you walk in. Oh my God, what we gonna do? No, I'm gonna figure it out. That's when I say I know everything. That's what I mean. If I don't know the answer, I'm gonna find it. Yeah. Even if I gotta ask you, I'm gonna get it.
You're gonna get something.
So I don't ever walk into a situation fearful or in doubt. Or I'm gonna pray my way through. I'm gonna ask the right people. I'm gonna read the right book. I'm gonna learn. So when I say I know everything, that I'm coming from that energy, not like you can't tell me nothing. It's just it ain't no problem I can't solve.
Right.
The other one is you call me, you get me invested. So in some cases I pray about it. I seek God on it. We come back together, and then you go do the exact opposite. But again, when it falls through, now you calling me, and I in my mind, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
I don't. You done got me involved, and I'm helping. I'm taking time out of my day. And then, so now, if you really want to get me apathetic, if you really want to get me lethargic, because I like how you talked about stuff that you see in the difference. Like, I always wash dishes. And I had to tell kids, if you got a problem doing the dishes, I'll do them.
Yeah.
I was like, but I had to have a conversation with my daughter a couple of weeks ago. I was like, if the one dish that I mess up when I come home and eat my dinner, because I work 7 days a week, if the one dish that I mess up, if that's too much, don't worry about it. I got it. Because you know what? You don't wash them as good as me anyway. I said, but I tell you what, if you ever want to swap out and get this light bill, we can do that.
What? Tell her.
Because like when she saw like that one light bill, like I said, it was almost $800.
Yeah, at least.
And when I say almost 800, I don't mean like 720. No, it was like almost. It was $785.97. Almost $800.
That man, let me get your wallet.
You know what I'm saying?
MLGW.
I hope y'all take installments, nigga, because you're not getting all of this in one whop.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem doing that stuff. So the stuff like gassing up the car, don't never put gas in. You know why? Because I do that.
Yeah.
So if anything, you know what I'm saying? Hell, I be running from it sometimes. I don't have to ask for it. I don't have to beg for it because I do so much stuff that just on purpose though. But that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now for me, you ain't got to do like no cooking and cleaning. Like no, I know how to cook. If I gotta cook, I'll cook. Yeah. And I'm gonna always make something I like. Now when I'm hungry, when I'm hungry, like I'm gonna eat because I'm hungry. I don't eat to live. I mean I don't live to eat. I eat to live. So if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. But if I'm cooking it, I'm gonna make exactly what I want in that moment, and it's gonna be made exactly to my specifications.
Yep.
So while I like it, you ain't got to. I'll do that.
Right.
But what I do need to happen is I don't need to be fixing something because I'm a proactive person. So I know what's going to happen when you hit that pothole. I know I'm going to have to take off work. I know exactly how much time it's going to take before AAA get there or before how much longer it's going to take me to change the tire. So let's avoid that. Well, I thought you was thinking when you should have been doing.
Why you thinking?
You see what I'm saying? And that is what. So when I say that, it's not from a position of I'm all knowing. It's just, hey, I know I've seen this movie before. That's just like you watching the Super Bowls that y'all won back to back, and you bringing your boys in here,
know what's
and
gonna
you're
happen.
sitting up there, and they're looking like, oh, we gonna lose again, and you like, no, it's all good. No, Dad, we don't. And you like, this game was 20 some years ago. Like, I know how this game ends. I saw this game when it was actually, but Dad, it's.
I'm with you.
And so now, if they get to fighting over the outcome of the game, and you already told them the outcome of the game, and they fighting in the third quarter, you're gonna be pissed off because you already told them what was gonna happen.
Right, bro.
And now you got to deal with one of them hurting the other one, or they mama finding that, and you letting them fight. Like, you got to deal with all that blowback when you had already told them what was gonna happen.
Yep. You got any last words here, Missy, before we shut down here?
I think something important is just when you are dating somebody, already know upfront if they're a feminist. Yeah, like I think you know before you get on the train. Know before you get DJ Bonhoeffer quote. He said, "If you board the wrong train, there's no point in running in the opposite direction on the corridor." So if you get the person she's very feminist and she's anti this, anti that, that's gonna be the whole relationship like that. If you want someone who's traditional and submissive, that's the whole relationship. So I feel like it's not best. It's not good to try to change somebody who's already set in their ways. So ask important questions in the beginning, like, will you change your last name? Mm-hmm. How you feel about women proposing to a man? Mm-hmm. How you feel about female friends? Ask these questions up front that we don't have to fight them the entire relationship. Ask up front.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real. Y'all, we're gonna shut this down, y'all. But until next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.
All right.
Look, I bust out laughing when she said that.